Hey, Olia, so I've got essays from you. Let's see what you wrote. Okay, children's activities, boys and girls. Okay, great. Let's see. The two pie charts illustrate the activities teenage boys and girls participate in. Generally speaking, there are 3 common activities and 3 unique for both genders. Okay, I don't know why we're calling them teenagers. It doesn't indicate that they're teenagers. It just says boys and girls, so let's not assume the age. They could be younger than teens, okay? Alrighty, so both boys and girls devote time to reading. However, the striking difference lies in a significant contrast of time they spend, with a D on it. While boys devote only 2% of their time to books, girls allocate as much as 21% to it. While girls play computer games 16% of their time, boys do it twice as often at 34%. Both genders listen to music proportionally the same amount of time, at around 10%. Lovely. Okay. Both genders are involved in sports activities. However, they are different, T, for each side. Boys play soccer 17% of their time, while girls do gymnastics a less amount of time, 11%. Girls, however, spend 15% playing netball, while boys allocate only 11% of time to skateboarding. Males play basketball, and females visit dancing classes at approximately the same index, 26 and 27% respectively. Okay, nice. Let me see, did you cover all of the sports? You did, okay. Okay, so Olia, generally speaking, it's good. You've covered all of the points. You know, with task 1, there is more than one road that leads to Rome, and by that I mean there are many ways to do this. I don't know that I would have, personally, I would have organized my answer the way you did. Let me tell you why. The idea behind task 1, I want you to think about this as you write them, is to explain it in such a way that the examiner, or whoever is reading it, could actually envision it, more or less, of course, through your description. Because of the way you did this, you know, flip-flopping, like, well, boys said this and girls said this, boys said this and girls said this, the 2 things happened. One thing was that it's hard to do that. It's hard to visualize what you're looking at. And the second thing is that it was kind of repetitive. So while boys did this, girls did this. While girls played this, boys did this. Okay, and then you had this, that was fine. Both genders did this. Both genders did this. Okay, so all of the sentences were pretty much like a cookie cutter repetition of each other. There were other ways you could do this. So I'm not saying that what you did is wrong, and I'm not saying that what you did would get you a low score, but, you know, of course we're always aiming for something higher. So one of the things you could have done was you could have split them, all right? So you could have first talked about the boys. You could have talked about computer games, since that was like a third of, you know, their cultural leisure activities, and that you know, basketball was the next highest, which was 8% lower. The remaining, not the remaining, but 3 other activities were all between 10 and 20%, namely listening to music, skateboarding, and soccer. And then the lowest one was reading at only 2%. Then for girls, you could have said, while some of the activities were similar, there were differences certainly in the proportions and in some of the other activities. For example, the most popular activity was dancing at 27%, followed by reading, which at 21% was clearly 10 times higher than the percentage for boys. So, see, you're kind of linking them back to each other. And then you could have put netball and computer games together, and gymnastics and listening to music together. And then again, comparing that listening to music was the same for both genders. So You could have done some stuff like that, and that way you're making relevant comparisons, which is what the task always asks for. But I don't know. I think it's another way to do it. Okay. Again, I'm not telling you there's only one way to do it. Obviously, there are multiple ways, but I do want to give you some options and some ideas about how to develop this in a different way. Okay, but it was good. So let's take a look now at your task 2. Here it is. Okay. Influence of human beings on the world's ecosystem is leading to the extinction of species and loss of biodiversity. What are the causes of loss of biodiversity and what solutions can you suggest? Oh, this is a challenging one, but very interesting. Okay. Existence of the human race on Earth has precipitated a detrimental effect on its activity. Let me say that again. Has precipitated a detrimental effect of its activity on it. All right, that's a little awkward, and I don't know if it really carries the meaning you want it to. So, the existence of the human race on Earth has has, due to its activities, precipitated a detrimental effect on Earth, or just has precipitated a detrimental effect on the environment, you could say. Does that make sense? Because this "it" doesn't mean, you don't know what it's referring to. Okay, so wiping out flora and fauna in large quantities. Regardless of the hazardous repercussions this trend has not approached, but has created, humanity still seems to react reluctantly. This essay will outline the origins of this disaster as well as possible options to approach it. Okay, and that's fine. So, one of the most striking reasons for the loss of the planet's biodiversity is the pollution of water and air resources. Our ecosystem is saturated with exhaust fumes in overpopulated cities and excessive amounts of plastic and oil in the oceans. Okay. Another reason for this is or just without the A, is constant deforestation, which widely takes place as the demand for wood grows due to a constant increase of populations which need homes to be built. All right, a little long, but fine. Well, let's see. Another reason for this is constant deforestation as a result of the growing demand for wood due to the constant need. Yeah, it's just, there's too much information in this one sentence. I'm trying to kind of shrink it down for you, but I do think it's probably just too much information in one sentence. Okay. It is a burning issue in Ukraine, which is even more exacerbated by the empathy of the authorities. All right, now when you say a statement like that, I really think you have two choices. You either support what you mean with some sort of development, like why are we talking about the empathy of the authorities? What does that mean? I'm not from Ukraine, so I don't know what you mean by that. Otherwise, just leave it out, okay? It was developed appropriately even without this sentence, okay? And then what you could have just done is have that nice round-off kind of conclusive statement saying something to the effect of, therefore, human intervention is a great cause of pollution in the environment. On a planetary level, the best solution would be to make each country responsible for the amount of harmful waste produced. This would be a fair policy, as many sustainable countries possessing sufficient funds have not introduced waste disposal to their citizens yet. One more solutions would be for the well-off countries to help third world nations. People in poor countries simply cannot afford, that should be one word, advanced technologies, as well as renewable energy. Banning gas vehicles on a planetary level, ensuring wealthy companies help poor ones replace machines that produce exhaust with the T fumes would be one of the most effective ways to fight this problem. Okay, let's see. This is a little unclear to me. Harmful waste. I don't know what you mean by waste disposal. I'm a little confused about what you mean. I wanted you maybe to flush out the topic a little more. Okay. To sum up, although the reasons for the species extinction are very lingering, all right, this is not the right wording here. not lingering for sure. And the reasons for, there are still viable solutions to it, such as raising the awareness of people around the globe and making them unite for the sake of our planet. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so the essay was asking about biodiversity, and what I think I wanted from you here was maybe a little bit more about how your solutions would help protect the biodiversity of the planet. I didn't really get much of that. Because here, for example, you're just saying that, oh, it would be fair because these countries don't have sufficient funds, blah, blah, blah. But what I wanted is this would help increase biodiversity because A, B, C, D, and E would happen. Okay, and the same thing here as well. That for me was missing, kind of linking all of your reasons and solutions back to this idea of biodiversity. Otherwise, it just kind of sounds like a what are the problems with the environment and how can we solve them essay, but it's actually not asking that. It's actually asking for a specific area of the environmental problem. Okay. There were some, excuse me, there were some areas that were a little awkward in terms of the phrasing, in terms of the wording, but on the whole, it was good. Okay, so good work on the whole. Correct them, add to your error correction list, and we'll be here waiting to see what you write in the next day or so. All right, good luck to you.